Hey guys, Shane with Now That I'm Older. Check out Rogue Intel Prime with Duff and Chris. Anything goes in this podcast of infinite possibilities. The gang are sure to entertain with their take on the latest news, commentary, and review of, well, whatever the hell they feel like. Check out Rogue Intel Prime on rogueintel.com.
And all that tension just building up for 35 years of wanting and wanting and wanting. Woo! It's the powerful Nerdcast. Hello, my friends. I am Corey, and joined with me, as always, is Christian.
Hello, Internet world. How's it going?
We're going to do something a little different today. Obviously, we got no video today. This is just all audio, but you just came here for our voices, and that's okay. We have a lot of cool things to talk about. We have a brand new character who's just announced for Super Smash Bros. The Internet is still sort of like freaking out over it. We have this brand new Warcraft trailer, which has been very contentious amongst fans. Christian, you're an old school Warcraft fan, so I really cannot wait to hear your perspective on it. I am not really all that familiar
Grew up
with
on
Warcraft.
the RTS.
Exactly. I never really played those games that much. I was pretty much just a console guy. And we have a few other little things that we want to talk about, but let's go ahead and talk about this Warcraft trailer.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so Warcraft is finally coming out. Let me just say this. I can't believe people are complaining. And I'm saying that not because I'm right and they're wrong, but every time someone played a Blizzard game, they were like, whoa, man, the cutscenes are amazing. They're just so good. Why doesn't Blizzard make a movie? And then the first thing the internet does is shit on this movie, and it makes me mad. Does it look a little goofy at times? I get it. What's your biggest complaint, Corey?
My biggest complaint is the CG.
No. I thought you were talking about the baby. Sorry, I meant to lead you to the baby.
Well, definitely the biggest thing in the trailer. There's this shot of this orc village, and there's this small orc baby that just looks so frickin' bad. It looks like the frickin' Grinch gremlin from Angry Video Game Nerd. It looks bad. We could have done that effect better, I feel. I don't know.
I don't think we could. But anyway, that's the few things on the internet that I don't think we can do better.
Let's just talk about the trailer in general. So this is Warcraft. So this isn't necessarily based on the world of Warcraft, but the original Warcraft game, right?
It's based on the original Warcraft storyline. To my knowledge, I may not be 100% right. And first of all, does it look good? Yes. Why? Because Blizzard is making it. And
it looks like a good cartoon.
Here's the thing.
It looks like a great Shrek sequel.
No, it doesn't, Corey. Shrek is cartoonish. This is not cartoonish. This is dark and brooding.
I wouldn't say so. The only reason I say that, really, is because the orcs, while they do look cool, and they look like they're ripped directly from, the big opening cutscenes of the Warcraft and World of Warcraft games, do not mesh well with the realistic humans, which in the games are also stylized. So you're having these two different art styles come together, and they completely clash, in my opinion.
Well, okay. Do I think the humans look super real compared to the...
They are real.
Well, yeah. Are they really there? Or is it just they just did the dots on the faces and then built them into the world?
They probably did that, the whole Jar Jar treatment.
Or the Beowulf, if you will. Beowulf.
Yeah. Beowulf was completely animated, though, even the humans. These are actors wearing armor, fighting against things they don't even see.
Maybe I'm a little out of school on this topic because I thought that they just did the dots. The Andy Serkis, is that the who's that actor?
Gollum.
I thought they did the dots on them, but they just made them.
They didn't dotify them. No.
So are the orc actors maybe are the dot guys?
Maybe the orcs are, but the humans are straight up just regular people in costume.
They're just normal people on a green screen.
Yeah, and that's why I feel it looks weird seeing them next to these incredibly stylized orcs. Which,
those are real people. I thought they were just really hyper-real CGI.
No, if they were, that'd be the best fucking CGI we've seen in years. But the orcs themselves, I think they clash a little too much with it. Now, I still think it's going to be a fun movie. I think the effects are a little cheesy. I don't think that's actually going to make the movie bad, but it's just when you see these giant Hulk-like creatures standing next to regular humans, I don't know. And it's weird that I say that because we accept it in stuff like the Avengers.
Yes.
The Hulk looks basically just like these orcs, except without the armor and all the tusk teeth and random fucking piercings all over their body. But, why am I able to accept it in the Avengers and not here? What is it? Is it because I'm just not a big fan of Warcraft?
And also, there's this girl with like tusk teeth that's like looks like she may be a hybrid.
Yeah, she's like half human, half orc.
Yeah,
we have the orc Jesus, which is that little baby orc.
Yeah, he gets set into the pond, and then they send him down the river. You know, to the orc Moses, if you will.
Which, to be perfectly honest with you, that really is the only shot that I don't like is that orc baby because
this looks cool. He's riding like an eagle or a Gryffindor or whatever you call those things.
Yeah.
What are those?
Just a griffin, I guess.
Griffin, yeah, Gryffindor.
Gryffindor. That's a house in Harry Potter.
Sorry,
one of the houses.
There's too much nerd in the world now. I can't keep up with it all. But I think the main dude looks like Tom Hardy with a beard from that new movie coming out called Revenant Revenant, the
Leonardo DiCaprio film.
If you haven't seen that trailer, holy shit,
check that out.
That movie looks freaky deaky good / intense. I don't even know if I'm gonna like it, but it looks like it's gonna be a fun ride. Also, people are saying if Leonardo DiCaprio ever deserves an Oscar, this is probably the one that's going to do it.
It's about damn time. I still can't believe he hasn't won one yet.
He won. He's done Blow off Hot Chicks. You know, he's done it all.
If that's not worthy of a friggin' award, I don't know what is.
He's done it all.
I'm honestly shocked he didn't get anything for Wolf of Wall Street.
That whole movie was like a fun ride.
It is, and Matthew. I mean, it is a little excessive. I've met some people who are like, I liked the movie, but it was too much. Like, it's weird to know.
Couldn't watch it with like my grandparents. Imagine watching that movie with your grandparents.
My mom and dad went to see that in theaters.
Oh, that's why I thought of that. Because I remember that.
They called me and my dad's like, "What'd you guys do over the weekends?" Like, "Yeah, me and your mom went out and we saw Wolf of Wall Street." And I was like, "Oh, how'd you like it?" "Well, if you wanted to watch Leonardo DiCaprio do coke on a chick's ass for 2 hours, it was all right. But I didn't really care for it. And your mom thought it was a little excessive, and that's pretty much that."
My grandparents are on. My grandmother used to be on the board that would rate movies. She in Chile. My grandmother's from Chile, and she used to be way back in the day on the board that used to rate movies for Chilean audiences.
So she saw everything.
Yeah, she saw it all, and then my uncle was like, "You guys have got to see Wolf of Wall Street." I was like, "Why are you pushing that in my grandparents' faces? They don't need to see that."
Now, in all fairness, they are adults.
They are adults.
They can take that subject matter, and obviously,
but they're from a different time.
It's true, I mean, no doubt, it's definitely a really excessive film. But I mean, let's get back on track here. Let's get back to Warcraft.
Back in the day, I used to play RTSs all the time.
Yeah.
And I didn't even like to play online. I'll be honest, I'm like a weird RTSer. I just like to play the computer nonstop, and I like to win. And every time I play people, they'd kick my ass because I'm not strategic in my RTSs. I just like to build up a big army and then wipe them out slowly. Like that was like my thing. And I used to play World of Warcraft all the time, and I thought it was the shit. And the cutscenes were always amazing. And it just takes me back to the point that like people loved the cutscenes, and now I hate that people are shitting on a movie because Blizzard finally got the funding together to do this. And it must cost a fortune to make this damn movie.
Oh, no doubt. They've been working on it for years. This is the fact that it took this long just to get like an official trailer released to the public, one that was not leaked, is really big deal. Do I think the movie's a little too late? In some ways, yeah, because it is very reminiscent of Lord of the Rings, but then again, I'd say the entire like World of Warcraft owes a lot of its like design choices just to Tolkien's works in the first place.
It feels very much like that.
It's hard to do a story with orcs and not relate it to Lord of the Rings because Tolkien kind of invented that thing.
But also these orcs are different. Yeah. First of all, there's two factions of orcs in this. There's the savior orc guy that's trying to say, hey, let's work with humans and let's unite in the sense that like we can go do our thing and they do their thing and we don't have to be at war. And then there's the orcs that are coming through, I guess, this portal. I feel really bad. I'm not really up on my World of Warcraft story, but they're coming through this portal and their world's dying and they're just going to take over everything they see.
Yeah.
The war.
Basically, they're going to go to a new world and sort of terraform it for the orcs.
The orc purpose. And this one orc's like, hey, man, we're always in battle. Why don't we just not do that? And like just make friends with people and live in some sort of harmony.
Orcs are not friends with people.
That's something I get, but that's why I think this could work because it's a new it's a new aspect of orcs. Like they always have to show up and be mindless idiots that just stab people. And
without a doubt, that is the most interesting aspect of this movie because the orcs in Lord of the Rings, they're basically just bad guys. They're fodder for people to kill.
They're the Nazis.
With and they have very little defined personalities outside of we're evil. But these guys are going to be orcs that you finally start to care about and start to learn a little bit more about them as actual characters. There's that crappy orc baby. Oh my god, that thing looks awful. I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't know a lot about World of Warcraft or Warcraft in general. Supposedly, though, this is like a prequel to one of the big stories in the game. Like that orc baby is supposed to grow up to be like a really important orc in the series. But again, I don't know the names of these characters.
He is the one.
Yeah. The one... we don't need no fucking Chosen One stories anymore. I'm sick of Chosen One stories. And then I'm a Star Wars fan, so that's saying quite a bit.
Yeah. The hero's journey. Exactly. So this looks interesting, and also something that could be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see it play out. I don't know when it comes out. Oh, when's it come out? June 10th, 2006.
June 10th. All right. Well, I mean, the thing is, it's also going to be coming out during a period of huge superhero movies. Like, we're going to have freaking Captain America Civil War.
I'm
which is
so
going to be
pumped.
I cannot
Where's
wait
the trailer for that? Give me a trailer.
I'm surprised. Yeah, there hasn't been like anything released for that. I'm sure we'll get something soon. I guarantee, actually, we'll see our first trailer probably with the Super Bowl. That's probably where we'll see something.
What about with Star Wars? That could be cool.
Well, that comes out in December. So, like, I mean, that's a month away practically. We're not going to get anything like that. I mean, Super Bowl's not even until February. So we're probably going to get that there. We might get some anthology stuff from Star Wars. But the point is, Warcraft has a lot of films that it's going to be going up against, but it also has the advantage of being something really distinct. It's a big epic fantasy film that's going to be coming out in the summer. And people do love those. So I think I do think it's going to be exciting. I'm just not really... too happy with the choices they made about how they're mixing the two styles together. That being said, I'm sure it's going to be fun as shit. Like you said, there's a dude riding on a freaking like Falcon or Gryffindor.
Yeah, Griffin.
We're just going to call it a Gryffindor from now on.
Yeah.
And just that's going to lead to a lot of really cool things. I hope that it's going to be a really intense film. Like, I don't think it's going to be an R-rated, but I think it's going to be a pretty hardcore PG-13 film.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, and it's that's what I'm down for.
Yeah, and who knows? This might make like a Warcraft fan out of me because I played World of Warcraft at your house years ago for maybe an hour, and I gave up just because I got bored. And like that's way too early to give up in a game like that because there's just so much to do. But I just don't like clicking on shit and managing all the bullshit and all the stories. I think the race I was playing as was like these half people, half bison.
Oh yeah, you were playing as
almost like a minotaur type creature.
Yeah, I forget their name, but yes.
Yeah, and I don't even know. I was just like, they look cool to me. I don't know. Let's try it out.
There's so many fans of World of Warcraft at this point.
There are people who still play it. There's still expansions for the game. There are still expansions for that game, and it came out our senior year of high school.
Yeah,
like that was. I remember people like. Everybody, like in my classes, especially in my art class, were completely obsessed with World of Warcraft.
I lost like 4 months to that game, and then I stopped playing because I realized how addictive it was.
Freaking losers! I was playing Resident Evil 4, bitches. Yeah,
much different game. Much different game. So yeah, I recommend you guys check out Warcraft official trailer online. It's looks good. You can go deep into this. I'm sure there's clues to the world all over this. Just like that Nintendo Direct we were watching, and then we were watching IGN's breakdown of 13 fucking seconds of footage, and I could not believe that someone did that.
For the new Zelda game.
Zelda
Wii U, which thankfully it is going to be coming out on the Wii U system. Everybody had this theory that the game was going to get pushed back and eventually released on Nintendo's new system, which has the code name of NX. I guarantee we're going to learn a little bit more about that. Maybe. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We're probably going to learn a little bit more about Nintendo's next big console come E3 time. And that's mostly because I'm pretty sure Nintendo's just about given up on the Wii U because we had a big Nintendo Direct yesterday, which had some pretty decent announcements on it, but nothing too crazy.
Can you describe what a Nintendo Direct is? Because I didn't even know until I watched you watch one.
Okay, a Nintendo Direct is basically this little 1 hour stream that Nintendo does. They do a live stream. They do it from multiple different countries, and basically it's just an excuse for them to sort of showcase all of their upcoming games and releases and updates for all of their hardware and software. And it's one of the things that Nintendo Nintendo's been really well known for the last couple years. This will be the first Direct that we've had in months ever since the death of Satoru Iwata, who was the president of Nintendo. A lot of people theorize that the reason we haven't gotten a Nintendo Direct in so long is simply because of the death of the president, because he was in just about every single one. Like, he was like the main host, so he was definitely a big part of that. And unfortunately, they didn't even mention him. They just sort of like kept the focus on the games, which I can understand why they did that. They didn't want to,
be a downer.
Basically, yeah, they didn't want to bring all that other stuff into it. But the Nintendo Direct basically just showed us a few new things, like a lot of DLC that's coming up for games like Splatoon, and all that stuff is free. Some Mario Maker stuff that's going to be updated. But the main reason people watch Nintendo Directs in the first place is to hopefully see something new announced, or to see like a brand new Smash Brothers character announced. One was, but some of the other things that they released, there was going to be an HD version of The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, which I wasn't excited about at first because I technically already have it on Wii, but it's the Waggle version. It's the game where you have to use freaking motion controls, and motion controls were fun in 2007. They were a big deal. When I got my Wii for the first time, we played Wii Sports for like 4 hours straight.
I remember Wii Bowling.
Yeah,
that shit was addictive.
And I don't want to ever play that shit again. It got really old after a while, and Twilight Princess was a good Zelda game, but I hated the sword combat because it worked, but I just wanted to press a freaking button, and you don't even have to be precise. You can just sit on your ass and move your wrist left to right, and you're still going to perform the same combos you do. And thankfully, the HD version that's going to be releasing on Wii U is going to be based on the GameCube version of the game, which means it's just going to have standard controls. So for those who never had an opportunity to actually like play the original GameCube version or even the Wii version, this is the best one because you're going to be getting the highest quality image, and you're also going to be able to use standard controls. And that's the reason why I am definitely going to pick it up again. That, and of course, it comes with a freaking amiibo, which is awesome. Wolf Link and Midna. I think that's really cool. I'm kind of an amiibo addict, but only the ones that I really like. And that's one of the more unique ones that I've actually seen thus far, so I think it's really awesome. Other big announcement, of course, is Star Fox Zero, the game which has been delayed multiple times. It actually just got delayed yet again. It's not going to be coming out until April 22nd.
Many cool new things, like they got the tank, they got a few of the other things, but also like Star Fox's ship can now like become kind of like a mechanized thing.
Yeah, that's the coolest thing. They're really focusing on the vehicle combat, which is really what makes Star Fox in the first place.
Yeah, don't get out of the ships, guys.
That's the best thing about this game, too. It's going back to the drawing board. They're staying in their ships the whole time. The R-Wing, which is the traditional like starfighter, transforms into this walker. Then you also have the tank, which is known as the Landmaster, which can also transform into a flying vehicle for a very short amount of time if you want to be
I remember that it could like boost up.
Mm-hmm. But now it has like these wings, which actually like unfurl from its side, and you'll be able to stay in the air for like I think about a minute, and then you have to go back down.
Okay,
it does conserve your energy a little bit. There's also another brand new vehicle, which is basically a little copter like drone. And
the copter, the Star
and you're
going
to be able to control it like an actual drone, like going back and forth, left and right. And you also have this little robot that you can drop off, who's going to be able to perform certain missions or drop bombs. So that's an entirely new gameplay aspect.
The drone is a new thing for sure.
Yeah, and brand new vehicle, never been seen before.
Being able to turn into a
I
mech.
was kind of hoping that we would get some more underwater combat, which is one of the rarest things from Star Fox. In Star Fox 64,
one of my favorite levels,
there was
too.
one level underwater. Yeah. It was I want to say I don't know if it's Zonus. I don't think that was the name of the... Oh, Aquas. Aquas was the name of the level.
And you had to fight that big monster at the end.
It was a big clam, basically. Yeah. They called it a bioweapon. Basically, you're just destroying a giant underwater creature. But that stage was really unique because it still felt like Star Fox, even though you were underwater. Mm-hmm. And it was so dark underneath the water that you would have to fire missiles continuously so that you could light up everything. And that was really, really cool. You're actually looking at some gameplay of Star Fox Zero right now. Someone playing the Landmaster tank.
The tank and the sub were my favorite levels.
I mean, I like them, but I'm still more traditionalist. I love the space battles.
Well, maybe, I'm spoiled because there's just a ton of those levels.
Yeah.
And then there was also one of my favorite levels, was the... how would you say it? It's like the one where you can fly in any direction where you have to face off against the other ships.
Yeah, those are they're called all range mode, and they're definitely returning in the game. They showed that off months ago. Actually, at E3, there's an all range mode mission where you're going up against Team Star Fox, and you're having like a big dogfight battle.
Wouldn't you mean Team Wolf?
No, what did I call them?
Team Star Fox.
I meant Team Starwolf, yeah.
It's Team Starwolf,
Team Starwolf, and you're going up against them, in particular against the one member of the group whose name is Pigma, and you get to have like a big space battle with them, dog fights and everything.
Iguana guy?
There's Wolf O'Donnell, who's the leader of the team.
Uh-huh.
There's Pigma Dengar, who's the pig, of course. There's Andrew Oikony, who is the nephew of Andros, the main villains of the game. He's like some sort of weird monkey creature. Yeah, Oikony, that's his actual name.
But that's not the pig's name.
Yeah, and then there's Leon Pawlowski, who is the chameleon. Yes.
I just thought Pigma might be the chameleon because, pigment, he can change his color of his skin. I tried to make some connection there, but I guess it didn't work.
But yeah, that's Starwolf. They're definitely going to be returning in the game as well, which you're actually looking at too, Christian, this video that he's watching. This is actually an older build of the game. Like, it's not even like 50% complete yet. This was just something they were sort of showing off. This is one of the new big boss battles that you're going to have. The other big gimmick of the game, too, is that you're going to be controlling the game in a number of different ways. Like, you can play traditionally by just looking at the TV and everything, but if you look at your Wii U gamepad, you'll actually have, like, a cockpit view, which will give you much more accuracy when you're trying to hit, like, something or pinpoint, like, a weak point. And you can actually like go back and forth between the two. You can turn that off if you don't want to use it. You can turn off the gyro controls. So they're giving you a lot of options for how you can actually play the game, not just in the controls, but in all the different like ship methods and stuff that are going to be in the game. And I'm beyond thrilled for the game. I especially love that in many ways they're really going back to the drawing board because this is kind of a remake of Star Fox 64.
So it does not continue the story.
It does
not. It retells it.
Basically, and this would technically make this the third remake of Star Fox, because the first one came out on Super Nintendo, which a lot of people unfortunately have
never
not played.
Nope, never played.
I still have my copy on Super Nintendo with its Super FX chip for high quality graphics. That's how they like marketed it back in the day. I remember seeing
to
the
make you buy some extra
that.
shit. Do you remember the Rumble Pack though? That was cool. The Rumble Pack on 64.
It's funny. Star Fox seems to be this testbed for experimentation because Star Fox 64 was the very first game to use Rumble technology. In fact,
it's so standard we would never expect it not to be in
It's built into the controllers now. But the first 100,000 copies of Star Fox 64 came bundled with the Rumble Pack. Mm-hmm. That was a huge freaking deal. And for that game, I remember that blew my mind. Like just the reaction from the controller. And those old Rumble Packs, like they were hardcore. Like,
oh yeah,
you could really cause some damage with those if you like, depending on where you placed it while it was rumbling. Mm-hmm. Don't put them on a glass table at all.
The controller
learn from that experience. Let's just say that. But yeah, Star Fox is great. It is being pushed back, but at the same time, a game being pushed back can be a good thing because it means they're going to be able to polish the game up a lot more and just make it look better and hopefully just add more content to the game. Because if there was ever a brand new Wii game that needed or Wii U game that needed like multiplayer, this is it right here. They could do something really, really cool for it. I always wanted to do like a multiplayer mode for Star Fox where you could actually create your own animal character. Like, maybe have, like, a template, like a fox, a bird, a rabbit, a lizard or something like that, and, like, modify them. Like, make them look a certain way, give them certain clothes and attributes, and give them their own, like, ships, which you can, like, create yourself. I think that would be really, really cool.
Stay on the mic when you're talking, Corey.
I am sorry.
Yeah. No, but that definitely sounds cool. Everyone's getting character creation nowadays. Like, like even the new Fallout, people were making goofy people, with the character creator. I had a lot of fun with the character creator in the new Metal Gear Solid. That's like a real standard thing. One of the things I was really excited about after looking up this news is that they're coming out with a Wii U bundle for Black Friday.
A really good one, too.
I remember talking to you months ago. I was like, can I buy the Wii U bundle with Super Smash Bros? And they were like, no, that doesn't exist yet. Mm-hmm. I was like, but it's the most popular game. Why isn't it bundled yet? There's a bundle for Call of Duty every damn time this system comes out. There's a bundle for everything that's big, And they just announced they're going to do a Wii U bundle with Super Smash Brothers and Splatoon for a Black Friday sale at Walmart for $250.
That is such a freaking good deal.
That almost makes me want to go buy that just so I can have Smash Bros here at the studio.
And I think they're I don't know if they're physical copies of the game. They might be preloaded in, but even if that's the case, I mean, Splatoon is a game that I still don't own and I really want to play. I don't have the time to invest in the multiplayer. It's a really big community-based game, and they're always adding all types of free updates to it. But if you ever wanted to get a Wii U, get that bundle because that is such a fantastic deal. Smash Brothers alone is worth the price of admission because there's still so much you can do in that game. They're still releasing all types of brand new DLC content for it. Coming up in December, there's going to be a big Smash Brothers conference where they're going to show off a lot of new stuff, and I'd say with everything they showed yesterday at the Nintendo Direct, the biggest news was the announcement of a new Smash Brothers character, which I don't think anyone could have predicted or anyone saw coming. There were no leaks for it, and the internet is still grooving off of it. So, Final Fantasy, huge series, has a big relationship with Nintendo. The first couple of games were released. When they finally got to 7, that's when they made the transition to PlayStation, and that's why it's so surprising that Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy 7 is finally going to be playable in Super Smash Bros. Wii U and 3DS, and he looks pretty freaking awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, to be honest, this character is like a character that just won't die. Like, they just keep using him, and his imagery is just like, I don't know why he caught on. Something about an anime-looking dude with a huge sword, just resonates with the nerd world. And this character just...
You basically just described Ike, who already exists in the game.
Yeah. Or
they even made a mention when they showed off Cloud's final smash in the trailer, his Omni Slash. They made him go up against Ike when he did that, and their final smashes just so happened to be nearly identical.
It's like, oh, I hit you, and then I fly up in the air, and I hit you a lot, and then you fly off the stage.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Slam you into the ground, big explosion. It literally is the same as Ike's. Only difference is it's stylized a little differently, and I think his explosion is a little bigger.
Oh, they had to make it a little bigger.
Yeah.
But, the thing is, I'm excited that they have this. And like you said before we started recording, or maybe this was yesterday, they really broke all the rules. Now that they got Ryu and Cloud in this game, no one's off limits. And that takes us to our conversation of who we would like in the Super Smash Brothers world. And I'll tell you my first one. Very much like Cloud, I want Guts.
You want Guts from Berserk
in
to
Smash
be
Bros.
in... it's funny because my next choice is similar in a way because... I think that'd be cool, just to have more, or not even more, but just to have some anime characters in the game would be cool, because everybody and their mom's been requesting Goku, but Guts, that's a really interesting decision. It is a cool idea, but there are just so many swordsmen now, especially ones with giant swords, especially now that Cloud is in the game. But it would be really cool to see, like, Cloud fight against Guts, and that would be, like, the perfect opportunity to make that happen. Even more so to make him more unique, if it were the Black Swordsman version, he would actually have, like, his crossbow.
Yeah.
I think that would be
a great
cool.
move.
That'd be his projectile. He'd obviously...
Or he could charge it and use his cannon, or...
his cannon would be so cool, like a point-blank range kind of attack.
Or he can
like
shoot it down, for down B or something.
Obviously, I think his final smash would him be putting on the Berserker armor.
Yeah.
And that would basically, I would say, just increase his speed and strength. Basically make it so that if you're near Guts, you don't want to be.
Yeah, exactly.
He's or maybe like give him like super armor, like literally that he's wearing armor. Like you can still attack him, but he's not going to flinch at all.
Yeah.
So he'll just literally go berserker on you, which I think that would be
exactly.
really cool. God, that's a really interesting choice. I didn't expect you to go into the anime realm that quick.
Yep. And who do you pick? You said you have someone very close.
Mine is kind of similar to that. So I'm sticking with video game characters.
Okay, that's fine.
We already have Ryu, who is one of the most popular fighting game characters of all time. So I think it's only fitting that we get the other most famous fighting character mascot of all time, and I want fucking Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
Oh, you want to go? That's such a 1080 right angle turn from a fun, but Guts is pretty dark too.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's the thing. Like all Guts does is like kill people and like destroy demons with one slash of his sword.
No, he just knocks people out. He's like Batman. He doesn't kill anyone.
But with Scorpion, I honestly think he could translate pretty well because they've already done games where he's been in non-immature rated games before. He's been in the DC vs Mortal Kombat game. He was in the DC fighting game Injustice as a DLC character. I'm not saying there has to be blood or anything, but they could implement his fire attacks. They could do his spear. We don't need to see blood, but I would just love to see, and that's the other thing about this. Not only would it be Scorpion in Smash Brothers, but we could finally do Scorpion versus Ryu for, like, real. Like,
that could be
this
cool.
Is the big battle, like, Hadouken, get over here! Like, that would be so freaking awesome.
Yeah, it would
be. He could teleport, cool. Like, that's the thing with Ryu, too, since he's already a fighting game character, his moveset writes itself. Like,
Yeah.
he has all of his moves. They can just implement them into the game. Give him, like, a couple of different costumes from the various Mortal Kombat games, and that would be amazing.
His final smashes, he pulls his mask off and just shoots fire over half the stage.
He either does that, or maybe he brings everyone to hell, or something. I don't know. There's so many possibilities for a character like Scorpion, and like I said, him being a fighting character allows him to sort of just, like, fit right into the universe.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. So that's cool. That's very cool. Next for me is Master Chief.
Master Chief. Okay. Yeah. I can get this one a lot. People have wanted Master Chief in Smash Brothers for a long time, and shit, they could make it happen. The only reason why I think he has less of a chance than, say, a character like Cloud would is only because it's a Microsoft Studios kind of thing. And Sony and Nintendo, they've had kind of like a working relationship in the past, and it's not even so much Sony, it's Square Enix. Like, they're the guys who actually create Final Fantasy and everything, and they've had such a storied history on Nintendo consoles before, so you can kind of understand why that's going that way. And some people are even making crazy theories that since Cloud is going to be a playable character in Smash Brothers, there's the chance that that brand new Final Fantasy VII Remake that they're finally making is going to somehow appear on a Nintendo console. God, please let it happen. Either way, I'll pick it up on PS4 if it happens, but, like, that would be such a great thing to finally bring Final Fantasy, like, back to Nintendo consoles. That's not to say there haven't been Final Fantasy games on Nintendo consoles. Just about every single one has been there, except for Final Fantasy VII and a few of the sequels. So this is kind of like a great way to bring those characters back. But going back to your choice, Master Chief.
Master Chief. His moveset, to me, writes itself, too.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You can throw a plasma grenade.
Yeah, it sticks to you.
He has a projectile of his rifle. His battle rifle comes out. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. That's his projectile.
Yeah, shoot for a few seconds, yeah.
Yeah, and then he has that shield that ever in some of the newer games.
Is it like the bubble shield?
Yeah, he can hit down and it'll push you out, and then it'll be like armor for him. He could just fucking uppercut you.
What would his up B move, which is usually like the recovery move in like a Smash Brothers game?
He has jetpacks in new games, so maybe you can have a jetpack.
Maybe like a big jump. Maybe his down B move. Well, no, I guess the down B would be the bubble shield.
Yeah.
Maybe because they have that new game Halo 5 Guardians. Maybe do like the big new slam attack.
Yeah.
Maybe incorporate that.
Or
that would be another cool thing too.
He could charge and pull out a plasma sword and slice you with a plasma sword.
Oh, that would be pretty cool too.
It's not that hard.
That's the other thing. Just by including these characters, they could go ahead and just include like items from the games as well. Like, not many hardcore Smash players use items, but they could incorporate like the sword, like you said, the blade one, the Covenant blade, all types of different weapons. The Needler, I think, would be a really fun little weapon to see like in a Smash Brothers game. They got
1,000 different guns in the game. Why not the Needler too?
Yeah, exactly. They could really go crazy with that. And the other cool thing about Master Chief too is his alternate colors are they're perfect. They could do so many cool colors, and they could even go as far as to maybe even include like different Spartan armors
or different helmets.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah,
honestly, I'm down for that. The only thing against it is just like, why would Nintendo want to promote something that's never going to appear on their systems? See, Final Fantasy and Street Fighter and Pac-Man and Sonic, like they all still have a presence on Nintendo consoles. Master Chief will never appear on a Nintendo console unless there's some sort of like crazy crossover. That's the only thing against it. But again, this whole Cloud being in Smash Brothers thing really has opened the floodgates for what is possible, because technically, no, Cloud has not appeared in his very own game on Nintendo consoles, but he has appeared in some Final Fantasy spin-offs which have appeared on Nintendo consoles, but only as a minor character and mostly as a cameo. But Cloud is one of those like super mega iconic characters. You instantly recognize him, just like you would instantly recognize Master Chief. I do think he'd be a perfect choice. Just if they got Master Chief in that game, just like that really is one of the biggest legendary characters to include with that group. And
not necessarily as my third choice, but I just think there should be some other outfits. Like I saw online just a little while ago, like Dark Samus as a costume. And then also
Dark Samus should just be a fucking character, damn it.
Just make a clone, damn it.
Seriously. It doesn't even have to be a clone. There's an assist trophy of Dark Samus in Super Smash Brothers Wii U and 3DS, and her moveset is completely different from Samus's. She has like she doesn't have like a charge shot. She has like a rapid one that goes up and down. She has this move where all these like weird tentacles come up out of the ground and everything, and she doesn't like walk. She kind of like floats, kind of like Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Which would be perfect for her character. We need more fucking Metroid characters for one. And I'm hopefully in the brand new conference that's coming up next month that we'll see something. I'm still holding on to the smallest hope that the character of Ridley, the evil space dragon, is going to be playable, but it just probably won't happen.
Yeah, or what about Ken from Street Fighter as Ryu's costume?
That would be like if I were producing the next Smash Brothers game and I brought back like the entire roster, that'd be one of the first thing I'd do. Like, Ryu is here, his alternate costume is Ken, the voice is there. They would have to change some things, like his Shoryuken, like add the fire effect to it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that
How
would
hard
be
is
that
that?
difficult.
Damn it!
Exactly. I really don't think it would be that difficult. But yeah, we'd need Ryu and Ken. I would give Sonic alternate costumes for Knuckles and Tails. Same moveset. They could do it. They used to play exactly identical for the most part in the original games. I would just change some of the attributes slightly, like Tails can jump a little higher because he can technically fly. Knuckles is a little slower, but his attacks hurt a lot more because he's frickin' Knuckles, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be great. But yeah, Master Chief. I think that's a really good choice. My next choice, my second choice for a character I'd like to see in Smash Brothers, is Banjo and Kazooie.
Damn, I never thought of that.
Banjo and Kazooie. This is a character that people wanted to see in Smash for a long time, though. Did you ever play the Banjo games?
No.
You never played the Banjo games?
No, I'm not much of a platformer, so I never got into that.
I fucking love Banjo-Kazooie. I still own both of the originals on Nintendo 64. They're supposedly going to be working on a new Banjo game. I don't know. They haven't announced anything 100%. There's the spiritual successor coming out with the two characters called Yuka and Laylee, which is this brand new game.
Yooka-Laylee?
Yeah, the game is called Yooka-Laylee. Uh-huh. It's about this chameleon and his little bat buddy. It already sounds like an old 90s platformer just when you say that. Yes, it does. But when you actually like see what the gameplay looks like, it totally looks like sort of like a brand new, modern, old school 90s platformer game, which some people might think are archaic, but when they showed that game off and they're like, all right, go to our Kickstarter, like they got that thing funded in a day. People want an old school platformer like that with characters that sort of like are reminiscent of things that you saw from Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64, Donkey Kong 64, and I think that'd be great. But Banjo-Kazooie is really cool. The thing that's interesting about Banjo-Kazooie is that it's a bear and a bird, so it's very similar.
On its back. So I'm just hijacking the conversation with that.
The Game Grumps quote. That's probably my favorite Game Grumps quote. But going back to Banjo-Kazooie, like I said, it's a bear and a bird, but then you have characters like Duck Hunt Dog. Come on, Christian.
Sorry.
We got Duck Hunt Dog, who is a dog and a duck. And they're very similar, so similar, in fact, that a lot of people are like, oh, that's exactly how I would have made Banjo-Kazooie work, where, you basically play as Banjo most of the time, but Kazooie hangs out in his backpack and can help him fly a little bit. That would obviously be his up B move, can shoot eggs, can roll into enemies, can even literally play the banjo. Like, I think it would be really fun, and it would really harken back to those old school days of N64. Alas, again, Banjo is now a product of Microsoft, which I think is a total bummer. So the chances of him actually appearing are slim to none, but Cloud gives me hope that pretty much anything can happen at this point.
What about Conker from Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Conker would be another good choice. Again, Conker is also created by Rare and is a Microsoft property. Mm-hmm. Conker would be fantastic. It's just, even with us saying, like, we want Guts and we want Scorpion, Conker is also still an incredibly controversial choice, because Conker comes from an M-rated game that's pretty friggin' messed up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like,
I never played it because I didn't understand how risque it was. I just thought it was another platformer.
Dude, that game was so risque that I remember back in the day, there used to be this old store where you could buy DVDs and movies and games. I think it was called Media Play. Yeah. It's absolutely massive. One of the coolest stores I've ever been to. And I remember buying Conker's Bad Fur Day from that store. That was when I learned I had to have my mom with me. I didn't realize it was an M-rated game. And they even completely covered the entire title, like, of the box. Like, they covered it in, like, this black label, and then just put this little thing in the front that said Conker's Bad Fur Day. Like, they wouldn't even let you look at the fucking box. Like, Whoa. That's how serious Nintendo was, like, about this game. They're like, look, we market the game, just be careful how you do it. And the game is pretty damn risque in a lot of the things that it does. I really wish we had more platformers with that style of humor. Alas, I just don't think it's going to happen. Supposedly there's some sort of new Conker project that's coming out, which involves created stuff from, like, the players, but again, they haven't really followed up on any of that. But Conker would be a good choice. But yeah, so far I got Scorpion and Banjo and Kazooie. What about you? Any more?
Man, I don't have a third really good choice. Like, I kind of thought it would be cool to. I was going to say Knuckles. I see online a lot of people say Wreck-It Ralph would be a good character.
Wreck-It Ralph would be great.
Yeah.
He's an interesting choice again. He's a Disney character.
But they've done crossovers already with Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a scene where he hangs out with Bowser and Zangief and
Just
stuff.
because you're a bad guy doesn't make you bad guy.
That's still probably my favorite scene of the entire movie. Wreck-It Ralph is the best video game movie as far as I'm concerned. I definitely like the first half of the film a lot more when they're hanging out in the arcade and stuff. But yeah, that could potentially work, if only just to bring back like John C. Reilly to voice the character like in Smash Brothers and make all the weird noises and stuff. And
yeah.
I mean, obviously we know what his up taunt is going to be.
Yeah, what would that be?
You know, I'm gonna wreck it.
I'm gonna wreck it.
Like,
yeah.
oh, that would be so awesome to be able to bring that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be a really fun kind of like weird homage to classic characters again. I think that would be pretty cool. They'd have to get Disney on the horn. You might as well say, why don't we just throw Mickey in there too? Can you imagine that?
Good.
Mickey and Mario in the same game together? I mean, Mickey's had a presence on Nintendo consoles for sure. He's had tons of games on there. They might as well go ahead and throw in the entire Pantheon. Let's get Star Wars and Marvel involved too. Let's just go nuts with Smash Brothers and skip the whole Nintendo fighting Nintendo and just make this the ultimate crossover ever.
Yeah, like don't make it about the Nintendo franchise. Make it about, this is the game that you go so you can see Goku versus Mario. You know, like this is the game you can see Luke Skywalker versus Donkey Kong. Yeah. You know, like that's it. That's what it is.
Now, again, what we're saying right now, what we're speaking is very sacrilegious to hardcore Smash Brothers fans. I used to be like
things
that.
evolve though.
You know, I used to be like that. Like, I remember the day like Sonic was announced for Smash Brothers Brawl. Like, that was nuts. No one even believed it at first. It almost seemed like someone had created the most elaborate fake trailer that you've ever seen. And then Nintendo made like their official post about it, and you're just like, holy shit, this is happening. The floodgates have opened. Solid Snake is in the game too, wow, I'm surprised they have not brought Snake back, especially with the relevance of Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, I thought they were going to. You know, I really thought that Snake that's it. He's in the game from now on. And he wasn't. And I was like, what? You know? And that was also one of our friend's favorite characters, so I'm sure he was bummed out.
Oh, Ben is bummed out like a motherfucker. Every time we play Smash Brothers, he tries to claim that Duck Hunt is like his replacement. I think they play completely different, personally.
Duck Hunt is like, if you're ever facing Duck Hunt, the trick is don't charge him. Just wait for him to have to come to you.
Whoa, what are you talking about? No, you want to charge Duck Hunt. You want to keep him busy. Otherwise, he's just going to keep barraging you.
You really think so?
Dude, when I play as Duck Hunt, I
make him come to you because he can push you away so hard. So I feel like if I make him come to me, he has no option but to get close to me. And we're actually saying the same thing, but we're saying it in different ways.
Yeah.
See, I like to just wait for him to get close to you and attack him. Because if you push him, he has so many ways to keep you back, and you're just taking damage the whole time while you're pushing towards him.
I mean, when I play as Duck Hunt, I play as a dickhead. Like, I constantly have something that is being thrown out or, like, going towards the opponent in some way. Like, I always try to keep them at bay. The only time I ever really get close to an opponent when I'm playing with Duck Hunt is if I'm, like, trying to finish them off with, like, a big smash attack or trying to, like, spike them.
So, what's your third choice?
Third choice. Again, I'm kind of like you. It's really hard to decide. Would it be a Nintendo character? Probably. It's hard to choose, man. There's so many characters. I mean, I've already talked about characters that I want in Smash Brothers before. Like, I'm trying to think of some non-Nintendo ones, because that's kind of like the whole point here. We got Cloud.
What about, like, what's the character's name from Isaac from that horror game?
Oh, God. I don't know if it's...
What's that game called? I can't remember.
The horror game.
Where the guy, you know, you have to shoot the legs off the creatures to kill them. They've had a few of them. Man, why am I blanking on this? It was...
Is it like a top-down view?
No, it's third person, and it was very scary. It's a horror game, and he was an engineer.
Oh, Dead Space.
Dead Space, that guy.
I think Oscar... There's no way his name's Oscar Isaac. That's the fucking
actor.
actor.
Never mind. Maybe
it's Isaac Clarke.
Isaac Clarke,
yeah. From Dead Space. That'd be a pretty interesting choice. Technically, Dead Space has appeared on a Nintendo console before with, I think it was called Dead Space Extraction, which was like a rail shooter game set within the universe. It was like a whole prequel.
Remember those?
Oh, yeah. They were a thing.
What was that arcade game, House of the Dead?
There was House of the Dead. There was they did Resident Evil: The Umbrella Chronicles.
Yep.
Which I think is
Virtual
better
Cop.
than Virtual Cop. Dude, Virtual Cop was the shit.
I had that on Sega.
Let's put the Virtual Cop guys in.
Was it Sega Saturn? Yeah, I had that.
Yeah, really?
Like
did you have like the light gun and everything?
Yeah, I had two light
guns.
guns.
That's cool. Well, did it play like the arcade game?
Yeah, it was great.
Shit, that's awesome.
I sold it, but it was good.
On PlayStation, I had... remember Area 51?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
God, that was such a shitty game,
too.
It
is. It's so crappy. Like, but back in the day...
Watch out! I don't know. It was just shit.
No, because you had the pre-rendered graphics, and then you'd have those realistic guys come in.
Yeah.
Get down! Get out of the way! My favorite thing was every single time you ran out of bullets, reload! Reload! Reload!
Oh, my God.
But, like, having that game on PlayStation was fun, but I didn't have a light gun. So we were using, like, the D-pad to, aim the reticle and shit.
Shitty.
But it was still very possible to... You could beat that game in 15 minutes. But it was also hard as crap, so you never really knew. Star Wars characters, though. I mean, it kind of has to be Darth Vader. Let's put Darth Vader in Smash Brothers.
But then you got to put a Luke Skywalker.
Is there anyone more iconic than that? Aside from, I guess, Luke, Boba Fett, Chewbacca, Han Solo, Kylo Ren, and like 100 others. That's the problem with Star Wars. There's many iconic characters.
You go down a deep world when you go there.
I don't know if I could choose between Darth Vader or Boba Fett. I don't know. The only reason I'd lean more towards Boba Fett is because we have so many sword users already.
Yeah.
And a lightsaber can only change that so much, especially because it's not like we're going to see Darth Vader decapitate like Mario or anything.
It's a lot of rights to buy, though, because you're technically buying all the sound effects you're buying. It's got to be an expensive thing to acquire.
Especially with Darth Vader, because he's always breathing, so you're always going to have to...
Yeah.
You know, they're going to have to do that. The lightsaber swish.
Yeah, it's just, when you get the laser gun, does it make the noise now when he deflects it,
That's a good point.
He
should technically be able to deflect every shot from Fox. That would be so cool with his bare hands.
Yeah, that would be
That would be pretty awesome. But as far as like other like classic video game characters for Smash, it's a really tough call. We were joking earlier that like maybe Gordon Freeman from Half-Life.
That could be fun.
Because I mean they sure as fuck aren't going to be making a Half-Life sequel anytime soon. So this would be like the next.
They're making
best
a
thing.
new engine.
Maybe do like the girl from Portal. Maybe somehow incorporate the portal gun like into the actual combat somehow.
That could be cool.
That would be really interesting.
Hell,
like,
if Scorpion can if Scorpion can warp, then she could.
Exactly. Do like kind of a similar thing. Like she'll shoot like the ground, and then she jumps in and it can appear somewhere else. Shoot the enemy so that they like appear somewhere close to her so that she can attack. Like there's so many possibilities.
Yeah, and they get hurt every time they get portaled or something. There's ways to do it to rack up the damage and whatnot. That's cool. That was really cool. So Smash Bros. A lot of cool things coming out. RoboCop. That's not happening.
Let's do it. Let's do RoboCop. Let's do Ed 209. You're looking at a lot of characters that people want right there. One of my top choices is the big crocodile king, King K. Rool.
Yeah.
He's who I want to see practically more than any other character. But that's just because we need some fucking Donkey Kong representation up in here.
Bomberman's a good character.
Bomberman's pretty classic. I only played so much Bomberman back in the day, but it's a real simple arcade-style game.
Yeah.
Really easy to get.
Pichu?
Pichu was in Melee, you know.
As a skin.
Yeah, the only reason Pichu was kind of like a cool thing back in the day is because, like, Pokemon Gold and Silver had only been out for about, like, I think a half a year or about a year at that point. Why not Zoidberg? Why not Zoidberg? Put Zoidberg in the game. That'd be pretty fun. I like that one. And of course, everybody loves Splatoon right now, so the Inklings would be really, really popular characters. The Inkling boy and the Inkling girl.
I bet all that's going to happen is you're going to get a Mii skin.
They already have them.
Oh,
that's the
there
thing.
We go. That's probably why I thought that.
But the other thing is they also have characters who have costumes that are also characters in the game. So that's why people are sort of like... That's also why like I'm hoping for King K. Rool, because he does have a Mii costume in the game. And I remember when they released that, everybody was pissing their pants with anger. I was one of them, and but there's still like there's a Captain Falcon costume, but there's Captain Falcon in the game. There's a Link costume, but Link's in the game as well, so they could do that.
But yeah, I just think that Nintendo Directs, you've made me excited about them, Corey.
Yeah.
Like I had no idea about them.
The problem is once you get excited, you might get disappointed, because while I liked like the big announcement from Cloud yesterday, like I was flipping out. I'm like, holy shit! I'm not even a big Final Fantasy fan, and this is going to be damn crazy. They represented everything about Cloud. They have his limit breaks. He has his freaking all of his big attacks. He can summon shit. There's even a Midgar stage from Final Fantasy VII. So it's good.
Yeah, it's very cool. So you guys, thank you guys so much for listening. We actually really appreciate everyone that listens to our podcast. It's a lot of fun to make. Essentially, Corey and I get together and we talk nerd, and that's about it. It's a fun thing to make, and every view we get, we're very thankful for. And we'd also like to thank our sponsor, or I guess not sponsor, but people we partner with, Rogue Intel. And if you want to check out the other podcasts that Rogue Intel does, go to rogueintel.com and click shows, and you can see all their shows. They've got a bunch of cool stuff there. Very different than ours, but all very well produced. And we'd like to thank them a lot.
And make sure if you guys want to help keep the network going, head over to rogueintel.com/Amazon for all of your shopping needs. It doesn't cost you any extra, and a portion of your total will go towards the Rogue Intel network. Now, seeing as how this episode we talked a lot about Smash Brothers characters and the sky's the limit for all the DLC, please make sure to tell us what characters you guys would like to see in Smash Brothers. And they could come from anywhere, from video games, from movies, from comic books, from anime. Please tell us what type of movesets they would have and what their final smashes would be, and make sure to also leave us your topic ideas and what you guys would like us to talk about in the future episodes.
Yeah, any topic ideas. Great addition there, Corey. Yeah, if you guys want to leave us anything to talk about, not saying it's going to happen, but you may inspire us to start a whole new segment or something. So thank you guys for that, and thank you for listening, and until next time, the Powerful Nerdcast is out!
Free for all! Mario versus Shitty Baby Orc!
At Rogue Intel, we aim to provide entertaining podcasts to a universal audience. To help support our mission, go to rogueintel.com/support.